how's it going, guys? I hope you're all having a great long weekend, great holiday. I posted on my Instagram story a couple days ago, and I basically asked you guys to give me questions for this video. So this is going to be a Q&A. If you guys want to be able to post questions that I can answer in future videos, make sure to follow me on Instagram because I'll post it there every once in a while. So with that being said, let's get into it. So I've got about 20 or 30 questions to go through here. I'm probably going to skip some of them because some of them are just, you know, I'll just leave it at that. So filming in the car today too because you can probably tell it's rainy and cold. So yeah. First question comes from, I can't even pronounce that, but I know it's European. Can you consider making test drive videos? I've done it in the past. The only problem is it's hard to find people to do that with. So like if you guys say, I want to see a Classic 900 review, it's like, okay, there's like 7 people in Arizona that have Classic 900s that I can find to make a video on. Then it's a matter of trying to find a time that works for both of us, and it's very difficult. But if you guys get on me enough, I'll definitely make sure to make a certain car happen if I can. Second, which Saab is the best to buy for a cheap daily drive? I'm from Europe. So I would say if you're looking for a cheap daily driver, probably go with a new generation 9.3. Probably just, you know, whatever base engine, the TID or whatever you guys got over in Europe, or a 9.5. Those would really be the best for a daily driver. I'm sure you could find those for under 2,000 pounds. Next question, are you going to buy an older Saab at some point pre-GM era? Yes, a question like this seems to come up every time I do one of these. Yes, I would really like to. Like I've said in previous videos, once we can sell our blue wagon, hopefully we'll be getting into some sort of project Saab. I have no idea if it's going to be like another NG93 or a 9.5 or something old like pre-GM era, like a Classic 900 or 99. I have no idea what it's going to be. Next question, how regularly should we change the transmission oil? I mean, it depends car to car, but I'd say probably around 30, 50, 60,000 miles. You know, not nearly as frequently as an oil change. Obviously, when you do it, you want to do it like at least 2 or 3 times to get all that old fluid out. Next question, I'm considering buying a Saab, but I'm a bit scared because of parts. Are there any problems with buying... Oh, the rest of the question got cut off there. I'm assuming buying old Saab parts. If it's anything that's GM era, you'll be able to find just about anything you would need. Pre-GM era, I know there's still some part sources out there for you guys that are classic owners. You can leave some part sources down below in the description box. I'm sure that'd help a lot of people out, but I do know that there are part sources out there for pre-GM Saabs. Turbo X versus Aero cross-wheel drive. Not even going to get into that. There's a video up here in the top corner that talks about everything that makes the Turbo X different from the Aero cross-wheel drive. No, they are not the same car. What are you going to college for? I am currently in spring. I'm going to be graduating with my bachelor's in urban planning with a minor in sustainability, and I'm doing a 4+1 master's program. So next spring, assuming I don't fail, I'll be getting my master's in urban and environmental planning. What do you think about the manual gearbox feeling and feedback in the Turbo X? I think it's great. This car has a short shifter in it, so it's not bad. I mean, I really like it. Is it as great of a transmission as like my Miata that I used to have? No, but the Miata is often considered to have like one of the best manual transmissions. But I think it's definitely good. How reliable are the Saab 9.3 transmissions? Seems like we're getting a lot of transmission questions in this video. Depends on what you're looking at. If you're talking about new generation 9.3s, really the only transmissions that ever had noticeable problems for new generation 9.3s were the V6 Aeros, and it was only for the 2006 year. So the 2006 V6 Aeros had bad valve bodies. So if you're worried about transmission problems in a new generation Saab 9.3, you're not really going to have to worry about it unless it's a 2006 automatic Aero. Next question says, hi. What makes you love Saabs? What makes you have such a deep passion for Saabs? This is actually, I did an entire video on this way back, like right after I started the channel, so I'll link that up here in one of the corners. But basically just because I've been around them my whole life. My dad has owned them since just before I was born. When they moved out to Arizona, they bought a 900. So I've just been around them my whole life, and when I figured it was time for me to get my first car, I figured why not get a Saab, and loved them ever since. Saab 9000, what do you think? Still have yet to review or drive one. I would love to. In terms of owning one, I'd have to drive one and kind of experience it first, but I've heard really good things about that car. A lot of people say that it's their favorite Saab. What's the first/best performance mod for the Turbo X? Well, it depends on what you're trying to do. If you just want to keep the car factory and not really modify it much, and you really just want to tune and something to wake the car up, V-Tuner stays 0 hands down. If you're looking for like physical modifications and you want to kind of do something like what I'm doing in this car, then Corona exhaust would be first. Then you can follow up with like an intercooler from DO88, intake, and then you can get your tune from V-Tuner, Map Tune, all the other different tuning companies out there. What's the best Saab to recommend to someone who has never owned or driven one? If you've never owned or driven a Saab before, I wopretty definitely recommend a 9.5 or new generation 9.3, simply because those are the two most common Saabs out there. There's still plenty of parts availability, plenty of resources. Pretty much if anything breaks or you have a problem, chances are someone else has dealt with that before. So definitely join Facebook groups like Saabs of America, Saab 9.3 owners, Saab owners USA, any local club that you might have. There's a bunch of Saab groups out there, great resources. How much did you spend on the Turbo X now with all the modifications? Well, a lot of these modifications were sponsored to me, so some of it I didn't pay for, so I can't really give you a good value estimate on that. But if you really wanted to price it out, I mean, for how much I would have theoretically spent, including the car, probably around 15 grand. I don't know exactly though, that's just a rough estimate. What do you think of the Focus 200 channel? Focus, JP, great guy, you guys should go subscribe to him. Yeah, has some cool Mustang stuff, and when he comes back out to Arizona, he's going to be probably cleaning my Turbo X or doing something. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Detail of the Turbo X. See the previous question. How much and how easy is it to fix a 2.0 T 2002 to 2005 9.5 with a blown turbo? I don't know if this is a typo, because in America we didn't get the 2.0 T 9.5. I don't know if you guys got that in Europe, but it's not. I mean, I've never replaced a turbo on one of those, obviously. But I don't think it's terribly difficult. I mean, the turbo is, not super accessible, but it's not in the worst spot in the world. So it's not going to be an easy, like hour and a half job, but you can definitely do it. And I'm sure you could find a used turbo in good shape for 100, maybe even 200, 300 bucks. So not terribly expensive either. You should do a drag race for fun between all your Saabs you and your family own. That would be great. The problem is getting someone else to do that with me. And we'd have to find a time to do that. But I definitely for sure want to race the Turbo X against the Arc, especially from a roll, because I'm curious to see if the Arc, I mean, it shouldn't be able to keep up. I would be very sad if it could keep up, but the Arc does feel decently quick, especially when it's not hot out. So I don't know, we'll see, sometime in the future perhaps. Last question here, future car. Next car is going to be whatever project Saab we get after we sell our blue wagon, like I said earlier. So that about wraps up this video, guys. Thank you to everyone who sent in a question and making this video possible. Like I said, if you want to participate in future Q&As, make sure to follow me on Instagram and look for any posts on my story that I might do asking for questions for Q&As. So with that being said, enjoy the holidays, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.